She memorized her speech.
Oh my gosh.
She gave it up, like,
Good for
she was
her.
awesome. She worked insanely hard
awesome.
on this. So,
Lot to be proud of, Mommy.
yeah, and I actually was most proud of just how she dealt with it. She was like, I feel like I won because I did my best and it was a great experience and I'm really proud of myself. And I was like, exactly. Like,
We had a similar situation when Jordan was in elementary school, and I just remember that we walked home, we were like, that was just, forget about the fact that our kid put herself out there and tried.
huge.
But her attitude of not getting what she tried for was incredible, you know, and we were like, and all these other parents are like, what do you mean my kid's not in the talent show? Ah! You know, they're all like, because you know how parents are. And, you know, and Jordan looked at us and just says, there's always next year.
Well, next semester they do it again.
Oh, they do?
So she's like, this is what I want to do differently next time.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, good for you.
She's
Like,
incredible.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing that stuff with me. It was so much fun.
Yeah, it was just great. And she did really well. Like, I think it was pretty close with her and this other kid from what I'm hearing.
Super awesome.
I'm just really proud of her. Like, I told her over and over again, I was like, you already wanted my book. Like, do your best. That's all I ever care about.
Yep.
And she did, and she knew she did. And
Super cool. All right, got that. Now my mask will not knock my microphone off my ear. Hey, check. There we go.
Al, I need to turn this off.
Do a diddy dum diddy do.
There we go. Oh, there are more people here. Let's see.
Diddy dee.
Oh, there we go. Great.
Oh, so Rabbi, I just put, I left it off in the slides, but I just put it out, like, just before Mishabera, kind of after you drosh. Because I figured that would be,
Okay.
does that work?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not joshing about anything to do with Buffalo.
Okay. All right. Goodness.
It starts
Oh,
there,
good.
but it doesn't
Oh,
end
we're running.
there.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Happy to see that. Ba 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 da ba bum, ba da ba ba da ba dum bum, ba 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 bum ba da ba dum bum, ba 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 bum. You hear that coming through the Zoom? That's from Zoom. I mean, you're getting the feedback because it's near our microphones, but we've got great sound on Zoom now. Let me mute that all the way. That's good.
I think that I don't know if they said anything else to you, but the plan was that they would like candles at home.
Yes. Yeah, they're lighting candles at home. I actually spoke to Maria in the last hour because of some technological challenges and stuff like that. I wasn't going to be able to put the slide up while we're doing it, so I emailed her the slides so she could have the reading and stuff like that. So she knows she received it. Because I'm putting them on the screen, I can't put the slide together. So, yeah. So, yeah, so I just reached out to her to just make sure.
How are you singing in the service?
I need to have my backup. Actually, We don't mess around here. Da-da-ba-da-ba-da. Check one, check one, check one. Let me go and turn this on.
I get a microphone?
Yeah, that would be your turn. Do 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 ba ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da dum.
I feel like I'm going to be very hurt now.
Well, just control where it is, and you just hold the button. You just push the button in, and you can push the button to turn it off. Okay?
Hello. It works.
Neil who? Neil Hefty, huh? I don't think I know Neil Hefty.
How far should I hold this thing from my face? That is the question. Woo!
Oh, good. I was just
Not
gonna
there.
say, I was just gonna check.
But
to see
not
if
right
you had
here,
the
'cause that's
shift
way
on
too
torsion.
loud.
So
There? There? I don't even know. Woo!
hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Howdy.
Hello, good to see you.
So cute. So yes, so for some reason the John Muir College produces 2 musicals a year. Yeah, it's the John Muir College at San Diego. Produces 2 musicals a year. I'm not sure why. Aren't they pretty?
How's everything going with you? When we were in the city in Astoria.
Oh, you were like in the. I was wondering. I was like, why are you using that?
We love Astoria. It's such a big one.
Yeah, I walked through there.
You like that view down there?
Yep.
In the seasons, it's like orange.
And there'll be snow.
Yes.
I think if I take, I'm taking the Jewish studies class right now. It's been January twice.
Right.
I'm thinking of taking the other one like professors next semester. And I think that means I'm a Jewish studies minor.
Awesome. That's good for you.
Miracle. Oh, look at that. The Rubin family looks spectacular on Zoom. Hi, Rubens. Good to see you.
You guys are ready to go. Awesome.
Marietta, I think that you have the candlesticks that match my Kiddush cup, so that's fantastic.
Hi, so good to see you.
So you guys are sitting right over there. See, it says sign on your seats. She's with me. Yo, you'll be here tonight with Mom. It's the first time we're getting Randy to come to services. So
Nice.
excited about that. What? Believe me, we haven't even gotten to that point yet this year, so. But, it's just that Zoe and Jordan have been doing this service with me since COVID, basically. So. Kate wants to join you. She's so cute.
I look forward to when things like that are possible again.
Yes, exactly.
We're not allowed to do that.
Very soon, please God. I get no.
Hello
kick
everyone,
from
so good to be with all of you. We'll get started shortly.
Yeah, Little Darling. I know that song.
It is not that big. No. Whatever picture you saw, the baby is 19 pounds. Or not 19, oh my God, 19 inches. The baby is not a big, it's not a huge baby.
It looks so big in the way I was like,
No.
that's a great size baby.
Pretty normal size baby.
Considering it was like 3 weeks early, it's a great size.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Really great.
But not a huge baby, definitely not.
So big.
Did you talk to Elliot today?
Yes. Yeah.
I was like, wow, that looks really great.
It sounds like. And what's nice is that he's
How did you find him?
So when I found out that Fred was retired,
Yeah, I knew that.
yeah, then I contacted the Shaw, who's another great girl that I've known for years. But he no longer is working down the south because he lives in the valley. And he's like, it's just a long time. He's only been in Hawaii for 6 months.
Oh wow.
And he says it really needs working just because he can bring an element that he's not yet there with, you know. So he's certified. So he's a certified mom. So he sounded like a really sweet guy.
Can you give me his contact info?
Of course, absolutely. I'll send you all of the folks that were sent to me by Andy. I looked at all of them with Elliot on the phone. The 2 that had websites, obviously, I could find out a lot about. The other ones, not as much.
Right.
But all of them seemed really good. This guy's an OBGYN.
Yeah, I know. Elliot was telling me about him.
The other 2 doctors are pediatric urologists. And then there was a rabbi who obviously serves mostly the Orthodox community. And so I was like, I don't know if that's the one I'd go with. But Elliot was like, nope, I'd rather have a doctor.
I
was like, good.
I absolutely wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
100% not.
I know, but I was being gentle in steering Elliot away. And
I wouldn't
I didn't
even
have
give
to.
it as an option.
Yeah.
Because you don't want, like, there are too many of those that go wrong, and I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to put anyone in that position.
Hello there, Frankie.
Hey, Frankie.
Y'all are sitting right there for Victor and Victor. It's like a law firm. Sure, not bigger.
Yeah, I know. Are there a lot more people supposed to be here?
1, 2.
It's the same blanket.
Yes. Memorial and Harvard Lodge. Who else?
We're getting started in just a minute.
Hey Bob, can you give some background first?
We're coming.
Awesome.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So good to be here with all of you. We'll get started in just a moment.
Come and stand with me too. Yes. let us sing. Hava nashira, hava nashira, hava nashira. Let us sing, 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 let us
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's good to be with all of you who are here in person, all of you who are here online, and to feel one another's presence, even throughout our scattered places, to really feel the joy of being in community with one another. Abraham Joshua Heschel wrote, "Refreshed and renewed, attired in festive garments, with candles nodding dreamily to unutterable expectations, to intuitions of eternity, some of us are overcome with a feeling as if almost all they would say would be like a veil. There is not enough grandeur in our souls to be able to unravel in words the knot of time and eternity. There is a song in the wind and joy in the trees. The Sabbath arrives in the world, scattering song in the silence of the night. Eternity utters a day. Where are the words that could compete with such might?" This particular Shabbat happens to be a super special one because Connor Rubin is becoming a bar mitzvah tomorrow morning. And so the Rubin family is going to be leading us in the blessing of lighting the candles.
Okay, are they ready?
Go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzvanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Rubin family. We are so excited to celebrate with you tomorrow. And we continue by singing the words of Hine Matov, how great it is to be here with one another right now.
and sisters to hang out on this day. To hang out on this lovely day. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day.
We rise and we face the doors through which we entered as we welcome the Shabbat bride. As we welcome the Shabbat bride. Ateret ba'ala, gam b'simcha, u'betzola, am segula.
Now that we have welcomed in the Sabbath bride, we turn to one another and also extend words and gestures So everyone who's online, I invite you to send a message to old friends and new ones, wishing one another a Shabbat Shalom, wishing one another a Shabbat Shalom, the waves of love being sent across the room. I hope all of us can feel that. I hope all of us can feel that. As we turn to the Baruch Hu, our call to worship. Love beyond all space and time. Your love enfolds your people, Yisrael. We receive it in your teaching, your gift of Torah, sacred obligations, discipline, and law. So let us speak these teachings when we lie down and rise up, and find joy forever in your Torah and mitzvot. They are the very essence of our life, ours to ponder and study all of our days. May we always feel your love. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Marching
I'm hoping sound is a little better for everyone online. Apologize about that. We know how challenging all of this stuff is and how out of our control some of it is as well. As we turn to our Hashkivenu prayer, we ask God to look out for us. We ask the technology powers in the universe to be there with us and working for us. Good, it's good now. Thank you. Yeah. So happy. God is looking out for us. So may we be able to embrace one another and celebrate the moments where we can feel that connection and where we can be uplifted.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom. V'ha'amidenu, Shopreinu lechayim. U'pros aleinu, Sukat shlomecha. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ותולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ותולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ותולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת.
Pray as if everything depended on God. Act as if everything depended on you. We rise for the Amidah.
Adonai sfatai tiftach, Adonai sfatai tiftach, ufi yagid teilatecha, ufi yagid Adonai sfatai tiftach, Adonai sfatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim ve'Konei Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, מי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Please take a few moments for your personal prayers, and you may be seated whenever you feel ready to do so.
שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום, כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום, כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום, כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל. בכל עת ובכל שעה, בכל עת ובכל שעה, בכל עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, נעשים לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני, המברך את עמו ישראל, המברך את עמו ישראל.
So we are now in the third week of our Torah cycle, in the third Torah portion in the book of Genesis. And this portion, of course, is Lech Lecha, which means go forward, talking about Abraham going on this journey. And when I was in Torah study, teaching it this past Thursday, someone said, but we have to sing Lechi Lach. We have to sing it. We can't possibly have this Torah portion and not sing the song. So I'm going to do something a little different. Surprise, Cantor. I'm going to have you sing the song first, because we simply can't go into this portion without a little bit of Debbie Friedman.
To a land that I will show you. Lech Lecha, to a place you do not know. Lechi Lach, on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi Lach. And I shall make your name great. Lech Lecha, and all shall praise your name. Lechi Lach, to a place that I will show you. Lesimchat chayim, lesimchat chayim, lesimchat chayim, lechi lach. And you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Yes, you shall be a blessing. Lechi Lach.
Thank you, Cantor. And for the record, he was planning on singing it. I just changed the order. I didn't totally sprig it on him. But when we come to this Torah portion, what strikes me is how absolutely absurd it is. In this week's Torah portion, it begins with the story of a 75-year-old man who was asked to pick up on a journey to unknown lands. It continues with the 99-year-old Abraham being told that he will have a child with his 90-year-old wife. The story is so ludicrous, so unusual, that Abraham could not help but laugh. Abraham fell upon his face, the Torah says, and laughed and thought, shall a child be born unto a person who is 100 years old? And shall Sarah at 90 years old bear it? Sarah's reaction was no different. The Torah says that Sarah laughed within herself. Really, she thought, after all these years, now? God insists that yes, they were to have a child. And more than that, they were to become the parents of a holy nation that would be as vast as the stars in the sky and the grains of sand on the beaches. Yet again, their lives were about to change completely. It was a miracle. The name of their child was offered by God. God said, you shall name him Yitzchak. This name fittingly means he laughed. The future of the Jewish people was born with absurdity and with laughter. Rav Hirsch explains, the beginning of the Jewish people was absurd. To the rational mind, which calculates only on the basis of cause and effect, this people's history, expectations, hopes, and life appear as a monstrous, ludicrous presentation. Jewish history begins to make sense, indeed deserves to be studied with utmost seriousness only if one evaluates it on the basis of higher causality, of the cause of all causes, if one believes in the free, omnipotent will of free God who acts freely and intervenes powerfully in the affairs of his world. Sometimes the impossible is possible. As Nelson Mandela taught, it always seems impossible until it's done. It was imperative that our ancestors know this from the beginning, and their descendants always remember this, Rav Hirsch continues. That is why God waited until the nation's patriarch and matriarch reach an absurd age. That is why God began to fulfill God's promises only after all human hope was lost. From the beginning to the end of existence, this nation would stand opposed to all the forces operating in world history. Until this very day, the Jewish people is considered an utter absurdity in the eyes of God, denying fools. The laughter that follows the Jew on his way throughout history testifies to the divine character of his path. The laughter does not disturb him, because he was prepared for this laughter in advance. Abraham, as the rabbis wrestle with, Abraham didn't question God's ability to give him and Sarah a child. Sarah didn't either. Their laughter was one of amazement, of joy, of celebration that this was happening after all that they had been through. And I think that we can relate to this today as well. There is so much in our lives that we never would have imagined 2 years ago. So much growth, so much learning, so much connection, so many new ways of thinking. As human beings, we have always dealt, ironically, with unpredictable challenges. But our story begins with laughter to remind us of how well we can cope even with the most challenging and unpredictable, of our ability to laugh and dream and embrace even the absurd. Sometimes life is downright absurd. May we embrace each absurdity like our ancestors, with a hint of laughter and even more courageous faith. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will. And I'd like us to turn our attention now to offering prayers of healing for people in our hearts, for people in our community, and for people in our world. So as I go around, I'll invite you to say the name out loud of anyone for whom you'd like to offer this prayer. And for everyone who's online, I invite you to write the names of anyone you're thinking of into the chat.
Carol Zeifman, Robin Gregson, Pat Wade.
Corey Polk, Melissa Polk, Rebecca Rothstein. And I see there's some names in the chat as well. Kylie Sherman, Jennifer Hamburg-Roski, Sarah Gill, Stephen and Josie Gianetto, Daniela Garavito, Shirley Harrison, Pam and Bob, Daniel, Marty Spiegel on her 94th birthday, which is tomorrow, Beth and Paige Montano. For all of these people whose names we've written and said out loud, and all the people whose names we hold in our hearts, let us offer this prayer now.
Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, veLeah, Hu yevarech v'yirapeh et hacholim. Mi shebeirach Avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, ve'imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, veLeah, yevarech v'yirapeh et hacholim. In the words of Moshe Rabbeinu, we pray, Elna God, please heal them. Elna refana, Elna refana. Mi shebeirach Avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, veLeah, Hu yevarech v'yirapeh et Blessed are you, God, whose healing presence is with all of those in need, as we all say, Amen.
Amen. We turn to our Aleinu prayer, remembering that all of us have the capacity. It's on all of us. That's what Aleinu means, after all, to create the world that we wish to see. And if you feel comfortable doing so, I invite you to rise in body or in spirit.
It's up to us to call ourselves to task, to sing what's good and true, to bring about redemption. It's what we were free to do. For what's the point of being here if we're not moved to change our ways? Aleinu leshabeach. It's time to live our praise. It's up to us to own the vision. We are an answer to a call. It's up to us to live the words we speak for the benefit of all. It's up to us to bow down deeply. There's a broken world to raise. Aleinu leshabeach. It's time to live our praise. Aleinu leshabeach. It's time to live our אך קוראים ומשתחווים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled. It burns, it glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades. Its substance is consumed and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full. But as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down and gutters. There is an end to the flame. We see no more and are no more seen, yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. Today we offer the mourner's Kaddish in memory of people who have died in recent days and weeks. Amichai Ben David and Angie Harrison. We're observing yahrzeits for Alan Abramson, Harriet Allen, Robert Allen, Florence Becker, Jonathan Blatt, Susan Meredith Blatt, Esther Borgita, Sissa Bronschild, Anna Bren, Ethel Brody, Barbara Bryant, Edward Carlin, Richard Chayes, Jacob Chapp, Alex Kardoff, Annette Dineko, Raymond Epperhart, Beatrice Feiner, Edward Fine, Morris Friedman, Harry Frumis, Miriam Gallant, Mayor Herschel Hellman, Albert Hutler, Leonore Hutler, Bernard Helstein, Regina Hoffnung, Ida Itzkovitz, Harry Kaplan, Sarah Klein, William Adam Kozlovich Sr., Nellie Land, Morris Jacob Lennon, Glenn Allen Levine, Erna Lewin, Beverly Lube, Morris Ludvigson, Albert Malky, Samuel Michael, Sheldon Miller, Mary Myers, Frank Newman, Bernard Paul, Isidore Pike, Sidney Pollock, Ruth Politzer, Gussie Press, Jack Rome, Donna Rosenberg, Bertha Rosen, Sigmund Ross, Estelle Rudin, Samuel Schneider, Bernard Dura, Linda Schulkenau, Sol Schulman, Jack B. Silver, Naomi Solomon Simon, Dr. Philip Summerstein, Dorothy Steinhaus, Fanny Teich, Leah Weinberg, Justin Winnig, and Ben Zach. In honor of all the people whose names we've said aloud and everyone whose names we hold in our hearts, let's join together in offering the words of the mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'amad divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon, u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivrach le'olam olamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudisha b'richu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Damiram v'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemoya. v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. But before we go, we have a few really important announcements, so please take a seat for a second, except for Marla. I want to thank you so much, Marla, for offering announcements on behalf of the board.
It's my pleasure to represent your board of directors this evening and to first off say many thanks to everybody's buddy, but my buddy tonight, Barbara Brickman, who helped greet this evening here in the sanctuary. It's always a pleasure to work alongside of you. It's wonderful to say Shabbat Shalom to those of you who are here in the sanctuary, those of you in Facebook land, those of you in our Zoom family. Shabbat Shalom to all of you. We owe a lot of gratitude this evening, our typical Shabbat service, but nothing's typical about being appreciative. And that's to Bob for those magical fingers. To Zoe, you are, I know, the child of this synagogue. And so all of us want to take credit for that voice, and we know we can't. But indeed, what a pleasure it is, what a luxury it is to have you sing right along with our Cantor and your dad, right? So appreciative. And so wonderful that we could always depend on you, Cantor Ilan, to bring our prayers to God's ears, to help us celebrate and appreciate this precious thing in our Jewish lives, and that's Shabbat. And of course, a huge thank you to listen and learn from a sermon from Rabbi Cassi. What a wonderful reminder and opportunity to learn about this parasha and to remind ourselves about our heritage, but our ability to laugh as we move through those tough times that we have, to laugh in appreciation of one another. And even though we're not so physically together as we traditionally have been, we're together in a new way these days, to be able to laugh. What a gift that we were given, that we can reflect on that sermon, that story, that wisdom that Rabbi Cassi shared with us, to take that away and practice our faith individually or as families and friends, and how to appreciate Shabbat this week in any way we so choose, but in thinking about this piece of laughter and how important it is. I'd like to also extend from the Board of Directors and our community, a little ahead of time, but it's a hearty mazel tov to Connor Rubin and his family on his upcoming bar mitzvah tomorrow morning. Connor, if you're listening, please know that your Temple Bethel family is very proud of you and your commitment and dedication to your Jewish learning. And I hope that a ton of us are on Zoom and will watch and worship with you and listen to you teach us and experience tomorrow morning together. Here's some programs and weekend services all of you probably know about from the email, but just as a reminder, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock really indeed is that virtual Shabbat morning service, the bar mitzvah of Connor, when he's called to the Torah. Then later on at 5 p.m., please join Pam Tarlow virtually for a half-hour meditation practice to soothe and refresh your soul. 2 hours later, 7 p.m., you'll have an opportunity to gather together in community as Rabbi Cassi leads our virtual Havdalah service, making the end of Shabbat and ushering in a new week. The Introduction to Judaism class continues this Sunday at 9:30 in the morning. If you have questions or would like to register, please reach out to Rabbi Cassi or to the TV Finance Office. And finally, we are all very excited to invite all of you to join us this Sunday at 5 p.m. for a virtual event entitled Unscrambling the Genetic Mysteries of the Jewish Community. This inspiring evening is chaired by the Friedman Harvey family and will explore the mysteries of Jewish genetic disorders and how advances in science have changed what we know about them. All virtual links can be found in your weekly emails, and if you're not receiving those weekly emails, please contact Carrie in the TB office. And from the bottom of my heart, from the hearts of your board of directors, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, Marla. Oops. Thank you so much. And I want to also just thank the Rubin family for leading us so beautifully in those candles this evening. Everyone who's on Zoom, I invite you to hang around. If you haven't eaten yet, that's okay. Bring your food. We're going to set up breakout rooms so you can be with one another. And for everyone here, Shabbat Shalom. It is so lovely to be able to see you.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Thank you.